My journey with the unexplained began when I was 5. My name is Amber, and I'm a physical medium.
She was crushed, her chest and her throat, and then the breathing stopped.
And the dead come to me for help.
He also slithers around and shows himself as different things, like shapeshifts.
I communicate with dead people. He jumps out of the water and takes people back into the water. And he drowns them and kills them. Come along with me and step into my world. Welcome to Amber's Paraworld. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Dead in Me podcast. This podcast is going to be a little different. This is a Q&A for me. I had posted on social media to ask questions. No holds barred. It could be about spirit, cryptids, love, life, whatever you want to know about me. So I've got the questions here, and I'm going to do my best to answer them. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first question says, I'm curious if your boyfriend or fiance is interested in the paranormal. Does he enjoy going on your adventures? The short answer is no. He is not a paranormal person. He doesn't typically want anything to do with ghosts, whatever. It's just not his thing. But if I do want him to take me somewhere because I don't want to drive or whatever, he absolutely will. Most of the time he waits in the car. He's not going to trek through the woods with me. I'm kind of a solo show. I do my own thing. But if I do need him, yes, he is there. He has seen things. Recently he saw this white light in the dresser drawer. It just lit up. He looked at me, I looked at him. We're like, you saw that, right? He tries to deny it a little bit, but he's had plenty of experiences since meeting me. So he does know that what I do is valid and absolutely real. It's just not his thing. I'm slowly working on kind of awakening him, if that makes sense. I mean, I do play meditations, sleep meditations out loud at night, so I know he's hearing it. But yeah, it's just not his thing. Question number 2. What is your opinion on the Fae? Have you had any experiences involving them? Absolutely, yes. I have Fae that live here on my property. My daughter set up a fairy garden. They like it. I have actual video footage from my security camera of them climbing over my front gate and running up to the Jeep and jumping on the tires, jumping on the hoods. You can clearly see that they have 2 legs. These ones are about that big. My camera is not in color, so they just look kind of like whitish. But yes, sometimes they'll show themselves as glimmers as well. We have a solar light in the fairy garden, and we can talk to them, and they'll turn it on and off and answer yes and no questions as well. Have they taken things from me? Yes. We had a love-hate relationship for a while. They had taken a book from me. They've hidden keys. They took a pendulum that I bought, a new pendulum, and had it for, almost a year probably. I can't remember the exact dates, but I came home from the grocery store one day after this thing been gone for a long time, right after I bought it too. And it's just stretched out right in front of the door. It was not there. But we do have a good relationship now. I know at first I was kind of nervous or afraid to talk to them because I have heard so many times people saying, once you gift them, you're in debt to them forever. Your family could have these curses against them, whatever. Could it happen? Yeah, maybe, I guess. Anything's possible. I've never had that experience. I don't think that would ever happen to me or my family. I have strict boundaries. I have protections over my home, my property, and I know what I'm doing when it comes to the spiritual realm. I don't know. It's just, I think that they are just here doing work. They're working on the land, just like our elementals are. They're doing work for the land. They have jobs to do, and we can work peacefully with them if we have our intentions set to where we are respecting them and they respect us. You know, it's all about intentions. Your mind is a very powerful tool. It's very, very powerful. Our consciousness, our thoughts, our words we speak, and I say this all the time, but it's extremely powerful. So never speak negative, never speak horrible things. I mean, if you go into a haunted situation, right? Let's just say you're going to a haunted house. It could be for the first time or the 50th time, and you go in there because somebody told you this place is bad. And you're going in there thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get possessed. I'm going to get an attachment. This place is so bad. You're probably going to have a really crappy experience. I mean, a lot of times I give spirit the benefit of the doubt. I do it all the time, actually. I'll go places and I'm like seeing this really nasty thing. And I'm like, oh, you know, this is just a human. Maybe he learned how to look like this. But, I mean, sometimes, you know, a demon will show themselves to me as a human, but I'll figure it out because it's not like they can't hide that forever, if that makes sense. I'll figure it out pretty quick. I've met several demons. The ones I've met are not as bad as people say they are. I'm sure they can be butt heads, but people can be butt heads too. That's a conversation for a different day. So let's get into the third question. Do you believe that certain entities, including beings of the Fae, Bigfoot, or other cryptids, are bound to a specific location? Yes and no. Okay, they're territorial. Let's just say Bigfoot. For example, if they claim an area, that's where their home is. If they're friends with a homeowner there on the property, if the homeowner moves, they can go with you. They can rearrange their property, like their territory. They can leave one spot and go to the next. Just like humans can. We can live in one home, move, and make a home somewhere else. Fae and elementals, like certain elementals, I think are in one area. Elementals are not probably going to be moving as much as like a Bigfoot family would, or Fae. Fae can move too. You have like water spirits, like water elementals and water spirits. If they're in a specific stream or body of water, they're going to stay there. Even some water spirits can take other spirits in and take off with them. Like it's so weird how this works. But yeah, some do and some don't. Then it's the second part to this question is, do you believe that other cultures have their own folklore that's passed down and they exist everywhere? Let's talk about skinwalkers. That's a good example of a culture that has a certain lore. People think of them out in the Midwest. Can they move? Yeah, they're on a spiritual realm. They can move. They can go wherever they want. There is nothing saying you can't go past this county line. If you do, you're just going to vanish or whatever. If that's their home, that's probably where they're more comfortable being. So they're not going to want to go places, I guess. They might be really like their family's just from there. Just like if you're born and raised in a specific city and state, most of the time your whole family's in that area and you grow up and you just stay there. Just like what I was talking about with the Bigfoot. Like if they make their home somewhere, but they absolutely can go wherever they want. You could have a sighting of a skinwalker thousands of miles from where they're typically from. So that can happen, absolutely. And this question, I love this question. This one says, when did you realize this was your calling, and how did it feel spiritually when you realized it? I've always known I've had abilities. I've always known I see strange and weird things. I've always wanted to go places that are haunted and connect with spirit. Back before YouTube existed, back before people had cell phones recording everything, you know. I used to have this cassette tape recorder that I would take places with me and play it back and listen to see if I got things right about the, you know, talking to the spirits, and they would confirm it on there. And I still have some audio from the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum from many years ago. But to me, it's like when you start awakening your consciousness and spirituality, I feel closer to my creator. I feel closer to Mother Earth. I feel like almost like I'm one with this universe. And that's an amazing feeling because, and some people know this, I grew up going to Pentecostal church and, you know, been told that we're born in sin, we're born this and that, and we're going to burn in hell if we don't do this and that and this or the other. So once I kind of realized what life is about and what our soul's purpose is about, I realized that conditioning is not accurate. It's not. And if people aren't ready to hear this, it's because your soul's not ready yet. That's all I can say about that. I connect with God a lot. God helps me cross these spirits over. God helps me get through things. God is very well aware that I have abilities. He gave them to me. He gave them to all of us. So, I do believe that man changed a lot of the Bible. You compare Bibles from today to Bibles 300 years ago, you're going to get a completely different message, so to speak. If you think about it as in the government messes with our food, puts chemicals in our food, in our water. They want us to lose our consciousness, right? They want our pineal gland to be calcified. Why would they not mess with religion? Why would they not mess with religion? They do. And if you don't believe it, you need to do some research. Jesus is very real, okay? God, our creator, is very real. But all the in-betweens that we grow up thinking are not. There's not a fiery pit that you're going to go to if you do wrong and murder somebody. Dahmer has the exact same opportunity for his soul to heal as mine will when I get to the other side. We might be on different levels, you know, different frequencies, because his is going to be a little lower. But we all have that ability and chance to heal and learn and go over our life lessons. So it feels good to know these things and to understand, you know, what's going to happen after I die and, you know, all that good stuff. And what is happening now with the spirit world. I don't know everything about spirit. I wish I did. I'm here to learn. I'm trying everything I can, doing everything I can, which is why I did the Ouija series, you know, connecting with Archangel Michael, connecting with aliens. I want to learn all there is in this lifetime. I'm trying to get these karmic lessons done and out of the way, right? I've been here a lot. My soul has came back to this earth a lot. But I'm hoping that soon I'll be done. I don't know. I don't think I've met anybody who it's their last life on earth. I don't know. But anyways, I hope that answers your question. That was a great question. It feels great. It's hard sometimes when I hear other people speaking a certain way, like they're just dead set in a certain thought process. And I so want to be like, look, let me show you these facts. Like, let me talk to you a little bit. Some people are open to hearing it. I never do this argumentatively, but some people's souls are just not meant. They're not ready yet. Okay, I don't want to say they're not ever going to be meant to hear this. It might be another lifetime before they're ready. But yeah, we're just all on different journeys in our life right now. But the more that we open ourselves up, whether you believe in aliens or not, okay, just open yourself up to it. Listen to someone. Don't judge them. Don't gaslight their experiences, because they may be on a different journey than you. Maybe they're traveling in a different timeline than you. You have to keep that in mind. That stuff is real. So let me go to the next page. The next question says, if a person goes to heaven, can you still reach out to them, and can they respond to you? Or is it like purgatory, been held here after you pass on? And I kind of just went over that one. Yes. Some souls, maybe they don't want to connect right after they passed. But I've never had that issue. I can connect with them as soon as they pass. I've seen people, my grandma, standing beside her coffin at her own funeral. So, and she was fine. She was smiling. She was like, everybody's here. Yay, I'm good. Everybody's sad because we, loss hurts. Loss, it hurts because we're emotional humans. We have feelings we love, and we hurt. But they're okay. Some souls do get kind of trapped in this, like they don't want to realize they're dead, or like a traumatic event, and they're just kind of like lingering, and they're like, hey, how do I get to that light? And that's where I come in, and other light workers, or you, if you want to help souls, if you feel something in your house, you can try to cross them over too. You don't have to be a medium to do that. So I think in some degree hell could be what we're facing on earth, like what we live daily. There's definitely not a fiery pit. Never had any spirit in my entire life confirm that. They're all like, nope, that's not true. Even Archangel Michael was like, no, it's not true. That's a perfect example of modern religion put in a scare tactic, I guess. Why believe someone that tells you that you're born in sin, that you're born a sinner, when you're actually born amazing and divine? Your soul is divine. You were born divine. You were born of this earth, of this universe, and you're amazing. So don't ever think that you're just like this crappy, crubby human that was just born in sin and you'll never be anything, because you are divine. You are divine. You were born in light and love. Okay, and this next question, I'm going to go ahead and put her handle from YouTube on here. This is from Primal Cry. And she asks, are the dogmen where I live originally from Sirius? Do they follow certain bloodlines? And why? Thank you. So, okay, when I was writing down this question, Primal Cry, I immediately was like, okay, just talking to spirit, right? And I'm like writing this down, and the first thing, and I said this out loud with no one else around me, she's one of them. That's what came to my head. Have you ever felt that you could have been one of these dogmen in a past life? Because I think that you are one of them. It's nothing to fear, nothing to be scared of. Some are mean, some are not. I've never been attacked by a dogman, and I've had plenty of encounters by them. They might growl at me, make noises. Do I think they're going to maul me to death? No. Have there been reports of this happening? Yes. So it's one of those things. If you're living with them and they're on your property and you're living side by side, I think that you have a connection with them. It could be a past life connection. You know how some people are like maybe part ET, part this and that. Maybe you're part of them. But I definitely feel that you have a strong connection with them because of who you are, and possibly I think it's a past life. If you want to get, maybe we can do a show together and bring you up and we can talk about this and figure this out. If you're wanting to do that, email me, because it's very interesting what I'm feeling from this. I do not think that they only have like a specific bloodline. I mean, obviously it's going to be their DNA to some degree, but I don't think it's like how reptilians follow a certain DNA. I don't think it's that way with them. So let me know if you want to do like a reading, and we'll get a time scheduled. Then this next question says, can you ask if my daughter is safe? Does she have a message for me? And the lady who wrote this, you know who you are. And I will say the first thing that I'm seeing is Merida from that one Disney movie where she has like the red hair. Is it Brave? I'm not sure. Okay, she's showing me her. So I don't know if her looks resemble that, or if that could have been like her favorite movie. But I'm seeing like wavy hair and red, and she's referring to that character. Yes, she's okay. Absolutely. And it's like she's saying, you talk to me and I'm here. I hear you and I talk back to you, and you know that. So you're getting signs from her. I don't doubt that at all, that you know when she's around you and you know when she's talking to you. I think you were just wanting another form of confirmation, and absolutely, she's with you. She's so bubbly and happy. Like, she's beautiful, just bubbly and happy. I don't feel like there's any kind of like trauma that she carried over to the other side. Okay. She's not stuck. She is hanging out with you, and she's like hugging you when you need it. She's with you, and she says that she feel like you feel her. So you know when she's there. And she's going to be there to greet you when you get to the other side. So have no doubt that you're going to see her again. Okay. This next one says, I would like to ask if Atlantis exists in the Sahara Desert. This is a two-parter. So I absolutely believe this. A lot of things that they show us on our maps nowadays are not accurate. Think about that. Man's going to mess with the Bible. Man's going to mess with our brains. They're going to mess with our pineal gland. They're going to mess with our food, our water, like I said before. What makes you think they're not going to mess with our map? Okay, so there's a lot of things that we think are really far away that aren't really that far away. But absolutely, I don't think that this is shocking news to anybody. How do I say this? Like, anybody in the higher ups, anybody in like the government, scientists, whatever. This is not news to them. This happened, like, this information is leaked because somebody figured it out, and other people caught wind of it, and it spread like wildfire. So their cover up is now going to be, oh, we didn't know, maybe this is it, maybe it's not. But it absolutely, I think it is. But they're just going to try to hide it as much as they can because they don't want us to know. If they keep us dumb, and nobody take that the wrong way, because if they keep us dumb, then we don't ask questions, right? But the more we use our consciousness and our brain, the more we question things, and the more we want to know the truth. And sometimes they don't have an answer for that because they didn't figure we were going to do this, right? We were going to grow and wake up and have these amazing awakenings with our soul. And the next one says, and where do the giant horned owls come from? So the giant horned owls, you can be, I'm sure you're not talking about like just the great horned owls, right? Like, you're talking about the ones like 40,000 years ago that were like a 5-foot wingspan that were huge. Oh my gosh, I literally just heard Middle Earth. So I'm trying to figure this out along with you, because I wrote it down earlier that I'm like, I'll just answer this when I get to it. So I'm saying Middle Earth. I'm saying there's a lot of things in Middle Earth. Yes, it exists. Some of the movies that you watch are telling you the truth, and they make it look like it's a joke or it's so funny. These are Middle Earth, and they're still there. There's other animals that you would think are like straight out of a fairy tale or a scary movie that are there too. Maybe one day we'll have to do an episode about Middle Earth. I've never dove into it spiritually, just little pieces here and there. So maybe we can do that, but absolutely they're still around. They use portals. I think maybe, I don't know if they like summoned them to stay there. I'm not sure how that works. But yeah, they're still around. They're in Middle Earth. And that's going to wrap up the Q&A part. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, it was a little different. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I hope you guys have an amazing month, an amazing year. Remember to meditate. I will say this all the time. Meditate. Stop putting chemicals in your body. Eat clean. Drink clean. And awaken your inner consciousness. And, you know, you're a badass soul. And you were born divine. Always remember that. Bye.